Evening bath time. How are we?
Yeah, I'm good, Mr. B. How are you? How's your Monday been?
My Monday's been, to be fair, my Monday's been pretty good. I'm not sure Friday's the best day of the week after the Monday that I've had, but yeah, look, I'm ready to rock and roll. It's a new week. There's a tournament being played, and there's loads of Man United to talk about. So I'm ready to rock and roll. Man, how you been?
Yeah, good. I'm enjoying the Euros. I haven't seen the games today, but I mean, what a surprise! Belgium losing. They're just bloody awful, aren't they? They've got so many good players, and just like never do anything.
Their
Dreadful.
golden generation wasn't so golden. The
No.
KDB looks at maybe he will be off from Manchester City in the summer. He didn't look good today, but look, it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah. All right. So, what are we talking about this evening?
Oh, what have we got? We have got Evans contract extension. Couple of questions to ask you about that. Obviously, it sounds like Greenwood's agreed terms with Valencia, and I want to talk about Ten Hag. Obviously, they visited
Cool.
him in Ibiza in their private jets. I wonder how that all planned out. You know what I mean? I've got images in my mind, but look, we'll see. But look,
Reckon
let's
they
start.
rang him, or they just turned up like
Well,
Jehovah's Witnesses.
that's what I've got in my head.
Yeah.
I've got the way it comes. You know, he's a bit blood. I've just got them just turning up. Just turning up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're gonna blah blah. Hello, I don't know, man. The fact that it wasn't booked into a hotel, it was they turned up at wherever he was, the villa, wherever he was staying. You know what I mean? I don't know. Evans,
Yeah.
right? So this contract extension, there was a rumor that he was going to retire at the end of the season. Obviously, he came in, did really well for us,
Mm.
played a lot more games than he expected to play and we expected to play. So I did think he probably did deserve a contract. I wasn't sure they would give him, but obviously he's not going to be on too much money. I'm going to assume he's going to be playing a lot less games. I would like to think so. But my question for you, do you think this is a money saving thing, giving him the extension?
Kind of, because Evans is homegrown, and that's so important because if we're losing Sancho, like if we want to move Maguire or McTominay or Brandon Williams or all these people on, we need to get that homegrown quota up. And Evans, I mean, he's married to the MUTV presenter. He did fantastically last season. He's had like Evans. I wouldn't say that Evans is a role model, right? He's had some really dodgy stuff in his past. Like he stole a taxi with Danny Drinkwater on pre-season. He got in a lot of trouble out in Royal Antwerp with the lads when he was younger. And I sometimes think that that's actually quite good to have around the club, like someone who's kind of been from being a naughty boy to turning into a model pro. And I think that no one can say that Johnny Evans wasn't an absolute standout last season from what we expected and the performances that he gave. He was the only centre back that played injured. So I think it's perfectly fine to give him an extension. I think it all makes sense. And I'm really pleased that we continue to have a Premier League winner in our squad.
Of course, yeah. I like that one. I like that last ending. Do you want to say a couple of howdies to a
Yeah,
couple of
sure.
people? I'm going to say something. My we're looking at a centre. We're looking at one centre back. Braithwaite seems to be the guy at the
Yeah.
moment. With Johnny Evans staying, do you think we're going to buy two?
I think right. It's all dependent on sales. From what I can see, we're definitely looking at a striker, a midfielder, and a centre back. And then I think if we do like Lindelof is linked with a return to Jose or something like that for sort of 8 to 10 million. I suspect that Lindelof's transfer fee is fully paid off, so he actually probably is full profit when we sell him. And 8 million is like 8 million a year gets you quite a lot in the transfer fee stuff. Like Anana was 50 million and he's on 150 grand a week, and I think he costs 18 million or 16 million, sorry, a season. So 8 million in pure profit gets you a 25 million pound player on about 100k a week. So it kind of depends on the movements that we get out of the club, but it's just it's such a bummer that the Euros is on for Manchester United because we can't get things moving with a lot of players. Like any good player is at the Euros.
Is at the Euros, yeah, or going to the bloody Olympics.
Yeah, or
yeah.
America.
Yeah. Oh Jesus! Yeah, I forgot about the Copa America. Yeah, you're right there.
Yeah, waste of time, Copa America. I went to live games, awful.
Really?
Yeah, Bielsa, rubbish for Chile. All right, let's see who we've got here. Who's not rubbish is one of my favourites. It's Vincent Bullock. I hope you're enjoying your summer, Vincent. And it's King Dino. Long time no see. I hope you're doing well, King Dino, and you enjoyed the boxing at the weekend. And we got Bill Baggio. He's in the house. We don't get to see Bill live very often, so a pleasure. Not a pleasure. It's solo. Good evening, everyone. And he's saying another season of back in Ten Hag. Let's get behind him. Well, Solo, that's up to you. And we've got DK Wilson all the way from I was going to say Albania.
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Okay. I hope you're doing well. And we got Steph in the house. Hello, Steph. I've just seen her on Stefan's channel. She's literally everywhere. And DK Wilson is saying, I had no idea John O'Shea was that rowdy when he was wrong. As Darius said, that passed in his pocket, his personal growth does make an invaluable resource for young players. Like, honestly, look up the story about Danny Drinkwater and Johnny Evans stealing the taxi. Like I think it was 5 o'clock in Spain in the morning, and they stopped the taxi they had in. The guy got out to do something, and they just drove it around the car park, laughing at him, like, stopping, get in, driving it forward. Not what you want from professional footballers.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with letting you hear.
Yeah, it's still quite fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, so those are the comments. I just want to say that King Dino's definitely back in Heath.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Show some love. Right, first one out the way. Greenwood. No need to delve. Strictly financial here. Obviously he was linked with Juve, and that seemed to have been the favourites. But obviously he's happy in Spain. He got sent somewhere where maybe he didn't want to go. He's more than happy in Spain, and Valencia have now tabled a 25 million pound bid. But also Greenwood's accepted terms. Now financially, the Juve deal would have been a better one. Or maybe they would have been pushing. Do you feel that Valencia will go any higher on the fact that he's agreed terms with Valencia, like Branthwaite agreed terms with us? Do you feel that that's where he's pushing for the move to go?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like Greenwood's about to start a family with his fiance, or he has started one. Spain is a wonderful, wonderful place to live. Valencia is not the best city out there, but it's still really, really nice. I think that this is actually better for United for him to go to Valencia than Juve, even though Juve are offering more money for two reasons. The first reason is I think that if Juve are interested for 40 million, I think that we can really knock up that sell-on clause and make the difference up that way. So at Juve, we might only get 10-15%, but at Valencia, we could get up to 25% or something like that. But secondly, if Greenwood goes to Juve, it takes one of the only clubs that are able to pay for Sancho off the table. Juve are not going to sign Greenwood and Sancho, but I think they could sign one of them. So if Greenwood goes to Valencia and Sancho goes to Juve, that's better, I think, than the extra 10 million or whatever we get for Greenwood. So I'm really happy.
And then again, the Greenwood one again would be straight profit, as in,
yeah,
he's homegrown, and that 25 million then becomes, how did he work 3 times? So we could then buy a 75 million pound player and pay over 3 years. Is that how it works out?
Yeah, essentially. So what happens? So the way amortization works is the transfer fee and the wages are calculated over the length of the contract. So for example, with Anana, let's just say he's 15 million a season. That's a 50 million pound wage and 150k. And that costs 15, that costs us 15 million a season. So with someone like Greenwood coming in, that 25 million goes straight into that yearly amortization, and it means it gives us real spending power. So if we were to sell McTominay for 35 million or something, it gives us huge ability to work in the transfer market, which is why I suspect we would be looking for players like Rashford and McTominay maybe for next summer, when we've got much more time to maneuver, like when all the players are in and stuff. So selling Greenwood, unfortunately, probably only covers the loss that we're going to make on Sancho.
So okay,
but from there we'll see how we go. But if we can get Sancho for 35-40 million, Greenwood for 25 million, we've done really well.
Solo, this is the reason why you're not on the channel. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Please explain to me how Greenfield will be alone. United won't sell him when we're looking to sell him. It's all, oh God bless Solo. That's what happens when you're out of the loop, innit? Oh, God bless him. We've got a big up from Mr. Potus 5000 as well. He's in the house. Guys, don't forget to hit those likes before we do shoot off. I'm glad nobody
Yale as well.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. I found you again. I hear Liverpool bid 50 million for Euro, and he said no to Liverpool. I think he will say no to United. Also, since Real Madrid are the only club he wants him. Well, Real Madrid or PSG. PSG will pay him the money for him to move, and then he'll just stay on the free and go to Real Madrid afterwards. As high as his ceiling is, bath time, the Euro one, I just feel that at some stage we're going to get burnt with that one, with Real Madrid coming in and taking him. So I would like to avoid the Euro, to be fair.
Do you know who he is? He's Rafa Varane 10 years ago. Like when Varane was at Lens and we wanted him.
Okay.
And we ended up getting Phil Jones, who did win the Premier League. But like for French players, Real Madrid will always be the number one, like with Zidane, and of course now Mbappe's there and stuff. Like I've never seen Euro play. I've seen a couple of stats. Real Madrid don't mess about in the transfer window, and they've hoovered the best talent from France in Tchouaméni, Camavinga, and now Mbappe. I'm sure he's fantastic. But once again, like there's players like, do you remember this guy at Man City called Mangala?
Like yeah.
He had everything to be a top player, but he came to the Premier League too young. And I think that for young defenders out there, they understand that the Premier League is completely different to, say, La Liga. And you're going to learn more, develop, and have more time in La Liga at Real Madrid than you are coming to the Premier League, where some random guy like Jordan Ayew will absolutely do you over an afternoon with the pace and the power.
Jordan Ayew, I like that one. Okay, so the King Dino, I like Brave, but we could get an equally good centre back for half the money. Mr. Potus is asking, isn't Branthwaite considered homegrown?
Yeah, so Branthwaite's quite interesting because Branthwaite he is homegrown. He has Premier League experience, and he also played in Holland for a season. So he has
under Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Yeah, so he not only does he have that, like Ruud would have been telling him about Manchester United in the early 2000s and so on. So that's always good. We've got, obviously Rooney, I assume, would be a big hero for him. But he's played in that kind of passing it out from the back, don't waste the ball, commit a man before you move it on and stuff. And then he's also got the kind of like the fire of a Sean Dyche team, of like having to win your duels, like competing high up the pitch and so on. Like I would think, even though we could get an equally good centre back for half the money in Europe, they don't come with those two things, which is experience of Dutch possession football and having been in a successful relegation scrap where they were also deducted points, which must really play on a player's mind, that they've gone out, they've won these points, and a bunch of accountants have got them taken off. off you. So I think that even though you might get someone of his ceiling or something, Branthwaite does strike me as someone we should be looking at.
Okay, this is one from Bill Badger. I would sooner keep Maguire than Branthwaite getting bought. I think they will keep Maguire anyway. I think they'll keep Maguire anyway. Maguire will be gone if they could get money for him. If not, then maybe next season he'll be gone. So I think they're filling that gap early. To be fair, Bill Badger. This one here.
I don't know about that. I think Branthwaite and Maguire. If we get Branthwaite, I think over the course of the season, Branthwaite and Maguire might become the starting centre backs. Like I think they'll work well together.
I'm not gonna agree. I'm not gonna disagree. What I do know, the question that I was asked, everybody says he's left-footed. In that interview that Van Nistelrooy had, he actually said that he's two-footed. He actually said he plays out with his right and left foot.
Yeah, but Varane did as well. Varane was genuinely two-footed, but
we talk about Branthwaite as well. Well, I'm talking about Branthwaite. So that was something that he actually specifically spoke about. I don't know if I can get the clip from Bath Time and send it to you.
Yeah, no. We've seen it. Like, I mean, I have to say, having watched Branthwaite, I always thought he was right-footed. And then I saw an interview where he said that he is like, he generally considers himself two-footed, but he likes longer passes on his left and he likes shorter passes on his right. And his team also like to play out to the right. So that's why he kind of passes inside a lot. What I think's really good though is that Varane, we know he got dropped at one stage because he couldn't do the passing angles and all this kind of stuff on his left foot. We could put, if we get him in, Leacher and Branthwaite could conceivably be a starting centre-back combination with Branthwaite on the right and Martinez on the left. And if he is two-footed, I think it makes him an even stronger priority because he can cover both sides. And we've had such injury problems at centre-back that a centre-back with a foot is preferable at times.
So Branthwaite, I'm still not sold on Branthwaite, but I will trust. I'm going to trust the whole club's judgment on that.
What are you not sold on?
I don't. I think maybe just because he was at Everton and he played under Dyche, the defending part of it I get. I'm glad that I've heard that he can play out because we had a little stat thing up last week looking at defenders. Or did I stat the one we posted? We did midfielders. Defenders. I've got one with defenders with Branthwaite on that maybe we can fill in at some stage. And his passing out wasn't great, but maybe it's because the system that he's playing under Dyche as well. So the fact that
I think compare it to
ways,
Vitesse. Like if we go and get the stats from when he played in Holland, I think that's probably better to judge him on.
Have a look at.
My issues with Branthwaite are twofold. One is I think he goes to ground too quickly from the games that I've seen him play. And the other one is I don't think he's that commanding in the air. Like, he's a big boy.
What is he like at turning? Bath Time? Is he
he's in between Martinez and Maguire.
Is he closer? Right. Is he closer to Martinez or closer to Maguire?
He's closer to Martinez than
okay,
Maguire.
That's fine.
He also runs properly. Like, he doesn't have that horrible windmill action that Harry has. But look, he'll be perfectly fine at sort of defending and so on. I think that what we want from him is what we didn't get from Aaron Wan-Bissaka, which is that the base that he came with, Aaron Wan-Bissaka never really improved on. If we sign someone like Branthwaite, actually Maguire, this is true of Maguire as well, we want them to kick on and develop themselves as players, like as leaders and things like that. And that would be my big concern, is the environment right to get in a young player, or should we be looking at someone like Bremner from Juve, who isn't going to really improve very much, but has those leadership qualities and those combative qualities and things. Like, if you get Branthwaite, you buy him to improve. And we haven't improved the player for a very long time.
No, maybe that's where the coaching part, maybe that will improve him with the coaching part of it. Bath Time, to be fair. Look, before we the France game starts, one more. Ten Hag's been talking. Ten Hag's actually, we did have the few chats up. so we don't have to go to them. I've had their pictures up. They're having their own little conversations in there. Ten Hag's been talking. Yeah, he did a little interview about them visiting in Ibiza. The Dutch language is weird. I was listening to the interview, boy.
Yeah.
It is. France is, Spain is, but the Dutch is a bit all over the place, and then they break into a lot of English thing. I'm thinking, wow. But anyway, look, talking about the language, he was saying that obviously they came to his house. It sounded like it was a bit of a surprise, but what he did say was that he's glad that they did the process of looking for other managers, and then they've come to the conclusion that he's the best coach available or the best coach there is. So,
well, that's
just your thoughts on that before we just said, well, look, whichever way he fools himself to it, it's happened. So, guys in the chat, you think he's right? And bath time, you as well. That's a question I'm going to put to you, mate.
I mean, I think it's going to be well funny having Ten Hag on as a pundit during the Euros. I heard what he said about Southgate, where he said, "Look, Southgate is just going to get super compact when England go 1-0 up, and he's not going to try and score any more goals." And I was thinking, I wish we did stuff like that. But I do feel a bit sorry for Ten Hag because, all right, position terrible, goal difference terrible, style of play terrible, but to have your job and your livelihood kind of like they just put him on display, and they spoke to Tuchel and Pochettino and stuff like that, and it's a bit sort of like, I don't know, if you did that to your girlfriend or your wife or something, they wouldn't be yours for very long. And Ten Hag, man, I don't know. I got the impression that he was a bit upset, like, with it, because he was saying, like, look, you can't do this in Holland. You're not allowed to talk to people whilst you got a contract and stuff. And I don't know. I felt a bit sorry for him. But as I say, he needs to come back next season and not lose the first two games, not have an open midfield, and hopefully he goes on to do great things. But I do think he's the last person I'd put on television. Such a weirdo.
Well, I mean, look, it's mad because obviously he was criticizing kind of Southgate in the way that he was talking about closing space, and I thought, bloody hell. When you see the other little bits and pieces, there's loads of different clips going out. But the one I want to talk to you before we shoot off.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw.
Uh-huh.
He said he doesn't think Luke Shaw's going to be playing before the group stage. And he said he was surprised that Luke Shaw was able to play this summer.
So obviously, like, Luke Shaw is going to be having daily contact with Manchester United's medical department, or like the England medical people are going to be informing them. Luke Shaw being taken by Southgate is absolute desperation. Like, I mean, to be honest, he probably won't be fit until the semi-final at the most. Like, sure, he might. The only game he might play for England is the third versus fourth playoff or something. But it's desperation from Southgate because there's no one of any quality left back for England. And I get the impression that, like, Ten Hag's a bit miffed that Shaw has gone, because we needed Shaw desperately last season, and the medical department got it wrong, Shaw got it wrong, Ten Hag got it wrong, like, and now England might reap the benefits of it. We'll see, but I just want Shaw to come back fit, healthy, and ready to put in a full season. That's all I want. I don't care about what he does for England.
Yeah, you're like me. I mean, I'm as I said, I'm a bit pissed that he went. I'm not going to pretend I'm pissed that he went. I wanted him, especially you said the fact that he did nothing for us.
You're right. Yeah, he did nothing for us last season. He didn't play in games, and it's like there used to be a player called Darren Anderton who basically used England summer tournaments to get himself fit and would then get injured in them, and we wouldn't see him again for 2 or 3 years.
That sounds about right. Tottenham old boy, innit? But look, bath time. I did want to get you in. I wanted to get you guys in the chat in and out before the France game starts. We were looking at Fofana the other day, half time. He's not playing. Bloody Kante's playing.
Yeah, and Rabiot.
Yeah,
I like Rabiot. Like,
it's gonna. I'm gonna watch this game with interest.
You know who the Austrian manager is?
Yeah, your boy.
My boy, Ralph Ragnick, the enemy of football. So, for once, I'm hoping for a lot of goals. But we'll be back at 10:15. I'm assuming Amonde is going to be on, but he could be asleep. He could have overeaten again. God knows what he's doing. But there'll be a show at 10:15. So if you boys want to come and talk any more, then we'll try and address the comments more. This is just a quickie show to get United stuff done, really, isn't it?
Yep, that's the one. That is it. Bath time, as I said, there's nothing. If anything breaks, we will be back. But if not, then guys, be back. We'll see you at 10:15. Bath time. Thank you as always, man. And I'll see you at half. I'll see you at 10:15, mate.
All right. Good night, everyone.